I noticed I kind of felt a little bit different. My mind is really playing tricks on me.
He looked visibly shaken.
At that point, I was freaked out already. My name's Lonnie Famuina. I've been a dispatcher for over 30 years. And I've gone from the Yonge Street station to Alapai, and now we're at the brand new JTMC, which is on King Street. Most of my career was spent at Alapai Station. And about 10 years ago, I got reassigned to training. And the training section, we work in a different part of the division at Alapai. So it's a nice little cubicle, kind of by myself. So I've been working there for a little while. And then one day, when I had gone in, sat down to do my work, I noticed I kind of felt a little bit different. Didn't pay no mind to it, started working. Then all of a sudden, thought I heard typing. I was pretty sure it was just me there. So I said, maybe I didn't notice there was somebody in the cubicle behind me. Got up, went expecting to see somebody. Nobody was there. So I thought, you know what, maybe my mind's playing tricks on me. Maybe I'm a little tired, working too hard. So I went and sat back down, started working again, checking files, inputting stuff. And then, I started to feel like there was someone next to me. But I just checked, right, to see if someone was in the other cubicle. And I was kind of reluctant to look over my shoulder. I did. Nobody was there. So I said, my mind is really playing tricks on me. So I continued working, and I could literally feel like this breath almost against my cheek. And, I was freaked out at that point. I said, okay, you know what? I'm going to print out this last lesson that I'm doing and go to the copier machine and get it, stand up, walk away. So I get up, and as I'm walking to the machine that was only a couple feet away, I knocked over this stack of paper that was on the side of the counter. And I said, I'll come back to that later, get to the copier, and I got my papers off that, and I turned around, and the papers were back on top of the counter. At that point, I was freaked out already. So I grabbed my papers, went over to the operations side, spent the rest of the day over there. So the next day I had to go back to my cubicle, and I was still kind of concerned about what had happened the day before. I had some people that worked there regularly on that side of the division. So I'd gone up to them and go, hey, have you guys ever noticed anything? Typing or somebody standing over you, watching you? And they're like, oh yeah, that's just Sweetie. And I said, Sweetie? And they go, yeah, I remember Sweetie. And I was like, oh yeah, I remember Sweetie. She was a dispatcher that worked in the Yonge Street station with us. And when we moved to Alapai, she came over with us too. Nicest lady, yeah. She used to come over there, talk story, and help out whenever she can, so she used that back cubicle. But unfortunately, she passed away. And it was kind of sad. A lot of us missed her. But now that I think about it, that makes sense. She would be the one that would kind of pick up after us and check on us and make sure we're okay. So then other days when I would have to be working by myself and I'd hear some typing in the background, I'd figure, it's just Sweetie helping me.
My name is Alan Leong, and I've been a police dispatcher for 16 years, and I started my career at the Alapai station. One day, on my day off, I needed to pick up some paperwork, but my son was with me, so I had to bring him in. I told him to wait here in this office. Don't bother anybody. So I went, I got my paperwork, came back to him, and I noticed that he looked visibly shaken. And so I asked him what was wrong. And then he said that a woman had come into the office quietly, didn't acknowledge him. She turned away from him to look at some shelves, and then she turned around and walked out of the room quietly. He noticed that she didn't have any feet. So I asked him, what was she wearing? And so when he told me, I went out to check every single dispatcher to see what they were wearing, and nobody was wearing the same clothing. So I came back to him and I asked him, what did she look like? And so he gave the description to a T that matched our suite.
So our time at the Alapai station ended. We moved to a brand new building, a whole new facility for communications. You know, it's a nice new place, and sometimes you sit there in the early morning hours and kind of look around and remember what we had back in the old station where we spent most of our time, or at least most of my career. And then I wonder, whatever happened to Sweetie? You know, did she stay there? Is she with us? I don't know. Sometimes you wonder.